Hi there. If you enjoyed this episode, then please remember to hit that like button, share with your friends and family, and subscribe to my channel for more videos. Thank you for your support.
Okay, but why?
How's it going, everyone? Welcome to today's episode of Okay, But Why? Now, I have to tell you guys, I am absolutely excited at the end of the weekend, as I'm sure you are, especially after that brilliantly successful launch by SpaceX yesterday. What an incredible moment for humankind, am I right? Now, if you did follow that launch, then I'm sure you would have noticed a moment where they said the crew of the spacecraft experienced no gravity at all after the spacecraft entered orbit. That means they were completely weightless in space. I'm sure you would have heard of that in several sci-fi movies and documentaries about space travel as well, but the question is, why exactly does that happen? As you would have guessed, there's quite a bit of interesting physics at play here. But I'm going to help you understand that in this video without any big laws or fancy equations, but only using this keychain and this box. Now watch, when I push the keychain, it sure enough moves in the exact direction that I pushed it. But if I place this keychain in the box and push the box in the exact same way, then the keychain moves backward. Sounds a bit crazy, doesn't it? But I'm sure you would have experienced it every day as well. Not necessarily with a keychain and a box, but what about when you get on an elevator that's moving upwards? I'm sure the moment the elevator started moving, you felt like you were pressed against the floor, didn't you? Or what about every time you take an airplane? When the airplane is taking off upwards, you feel pushed against your seat downwards. Now, this unreal force that the keychain experienced in the box, or that you and I experience in elevators or airplanes, is literally called pseudo-force, where pseudo means not real. Now, before I explain to you how pseudo-force helps astronauts and spacecrafts feel weightless, let's go back to that elevator for a moment. Only this time, let's make it go downward. Now, the moment you step into that elevator and it starts to move downwards, you feel like you're flying up for an instant. And that's because the pseudo-force is acting upwards in this case, and that is against the gravity that's pulling you down. So if the elevator started moving down a little faster, then the pseudo-force would be a little bit higher. What that means for you is that you would be flying up for a little longer than just an instant. Do you want to fly up for even longer? Okay, then let's take this to the extreme. Imagine someone cut the cord of the elevator and it's plunging down in free fall with you inside of it. Now, that means you are a keychain inside this box that's the elevator, and the only force that's acting on that box is gravity itself. So what happens to you? Well, the pseudo-force that you experience is now big enough to balance out the gravity, which means the total force that you experience inside that elevator is zero. That's right, that's exactly what it feels like to be weightless. Well, of course, you're falling towards your death, but hey, the cool part is, at least you got to levitate while dying. Enough about death. Let's go back to the astronaut in the spacecraft. Now, when a spacecraft is orbiting the Earth, the only force it experiences is the Earth's gravity, just like an elevator in free fall. Now, that means the astronaut inside the spacecraft is just like you in the free-falling elevator, levitating all the time, except he doesn't have to worry about falling to his certain death. So, the answer to this big question, the secret to weightlessness, is just pseudo-force. And what that means in simple words is that traveling in a spacecraft that's orbiting the planet is quite literally an unreal experience. I'm Varun from OK But Why. Stay safe, stay curious, and stay tuned for the next video.